going to hit record. Woohoo! All right. Mastermind at the top of our third decision hour for the week, Wednesday afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time. And this is the month of Inspire. So earlier today, we were talking about inspiring decisions we've made. And so since we have a couple of new folks on, I'd like to just open the floor for any inspiring decisions that you have made in February that you would like to share with us. And while I'm holding the space for you as you think, Stephanie, because I know you've got one because you're inspiring. um, so what I shared with the group earlier was that Brenda and I, when we had we had one couple officially signed up and another one who was highly contemplating it, we decided that no matter what, we were going to do the vision to decision retreat. And by making that decision, it kept us very focused on not worrying about filling the house, but just, plan for a great event. So in that planning, we ended up with 4 couples and a potential 5th who's going to hop on the call tonight to learn a little bit more about it since I didn't get to talk to her ahead of time. So very excited about that. So, that's an inspiring decision because sometimes we sit in the what if, I don't know if I should do this. Am I wasting time? What's really going to work here? And when we just decide, we can stop putting our energy into something that isn't helping us. And then we can move forward. So does that bring any thoughts up for you, Stephanie?
Well, it's not necessarily on the timeline of this happened in February, but I come back to the decision for me to leave teaching in the school, in that it was the realization that this is not serving my, that time versus benefit, scale that we look at. And, what do I need to do to replace that income, to replace that stability? And, when you look at it on paper, it wasn't as bad as I thought. In my mind, it was losing that recurring income, but not opening myself up to the possibility that with a little bit of footwork, that's only a couple clients to cover that income, but also greatly open that time, because what I would be spending in a week would be the time that I'd actually be spending over the course of a month with clients versus being in the classroom. And that has just opened me up, then making that huge, scary step to being open to receiving, because receive is my word for the year, being open to receiving what has come. And so I've had at the same time, all these different avenues of lead generation, of new faces, of experiences that I'm in where I haven't been able to interact with these people before. And so cultivating a whole new set of people and places and problems that I'm here to solve.
I love that. As you were talking, I literally almost saw a door open. Whenever we make a decision, and every decision is courageous, right? And Terry, you could probably speak to this with, the Fearless Generations and Courage Hour and all that, because every time we're making a decision that is taking a step towards something and inspires us to actually work differently, right? But when we sit in what decision do I make? Or I have to keep doing this because I have to make money, or I have to bring in those dollars that I needed, or whatever it is. I have to, when we say I have to, right? Or then that's a good time to stop and say, wait a minute, well, what can I choose here? And get courageous with a decision that could serve us better. And then as soon as we make that decision, even if it's a decision, whether it's to stop, to start, a decision for today or for the whole week, it helps us like regain clarity and focus and move forward. So, and I'm like, this is why I host Decide Hours, guys, because I'm not a fast decision maker. Like, I will ponder and process until I'm blue in the face. And so, by having these conversations, it really helps me go, just decide, Nancy, because I can always change it. But until I decide, I'm losing my momentum. Yeah, that's cool. Good, great. That's a great example of a decision that not only did it serve you, but it opened the doors. Love that. Um, Terry, did you have any thoughts on? We were talking about inspiring decisions that either we've made or if somebody we know has made one that you would like to share.
Yeah, I have to chuckle whenever I think about decision making because Kelly and I, have learned to really work together. I'm the person who fires and aims later, and she is the person that aims and aims and aims and aims and aims and aims. And it used to be such a source of contention for us. And we learned that when we got into some energy work, that's just our nature. That's our energy. And one's not right and one's not wrong. They're just different. And so we began to synchronize our level of decision making to be a more balanced approach where she pulls me back to where I think a little bit before I make a decision. And then she makes one maybe more quickly, doesn't hesitate so long because a decision is just a choice. And a choice takes you in a direction that may be the right or maybe not the wrong direction. I mean, might not be the best direction, but until you make a decision, you don't know. So you can't grow. You can't step out of your comfort zone until you make a decision. And it's that willingness to say decisions aren't in cement, that I used to think that. I used to think, oh, I chose this. I'm going to have to lie in the bed until, I made my bed, I have to lie in it, all those old sayings. But it's not true. You can just say this, well, that was not a good decision and I'm going to make a different one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, love it. And, sometimes there's this, well, and like in Think and Grow Rich, Becky, you were reading about like, so make a decision, be fast, make your decision. And I kind of say, he says, like, go fast, but more from your gut, from your heart. When you make a decision from your heart, but then be slow to change your decision. And that's when to process. And I kind of like that concept too. Like, if I'm not changing something with my decision, I can move. Let's just do something.
Mm-hmm.
Then, if it's not the right thing, then I need to process maybe what needs to be different or how I can slightly change this and make another decision. But you don't have to make that decision as fast, but yet, serve yourself, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, good stuff. Well, we are at 5. I'm going to stop this amazing mastermind.